Hello, good morning. Happy Tuesday. How are you all doing today? We're going to be continuing to work on the EyeAP centralized auth project. But today, being the second day of the week, we're working on the anathema side instead of the yew side. And if you don't know, anathema is a CLI front-end framework, so it's not really for the browser. But it is component based. So it kind of uses some lessons and some things from a browser, but it runs in a CLI. So I actually have it attempting to run over here on the left. But as we can see, there are some errors because we're on the dev branch for Anathema, and ToggleBit has made some breaking changes. So we need to fix this. One of which is that apparently there's no more prelude. So that's interesting. Now, last time we did finish up almost being able to create a router that worked. And I think that I got it working outside of stream with ToggleBit's help. But of course, I can't prove that to you until we fix all this. And hopefully it's working then. Now, it's not really it's not like a shareable router yet. It's very hard coded. But hey, it's a start. So anyways, let's I guess get this going. All right, so failed no code actions. Uh-oh. Do I have to restart you? Still no code. Oh. No code actions. Is it because we have like other problems? Maybe other imports here? Yeah, like none of those are happy. Let's see. Right, you don't know where to component ID use anathema. I don't. Oh, component is not visible. Hold on. Let me Discord. Let me Discord ToggleBit and see if he's available. I'm having let's see. I'm having lots of errors. Can't use, what is it? It's the prelude or component module. Okay, so I sent that out. Let's see if ToggleBit's online and streaming. Could also check to see if ToggleBit is streaming, because if he is, then we're not really going to be doing much. We might have to. I don't know what we would have to do to work around this, because if I can't get access to these types, that's obviously not going to work for Anathema, and then maybe we'll just go back to yew for the rest of the day. So where am I going? I am going to. Okay, yeah, ToggleBit's not online, so hopefully he's not sleeping. He might be. Usually he doesn't go to bed for a couple hours, so we should get some crossover time. In the meantime, let's see. Are there any other errors that we can find? So I wonder if I get rid of all of the use statements that aren't working. There we go. Oh wait, no, that's standard path. That's not the same. Standard path is not the same. I wonder if we can also go and take a look at this. So if I go find Anathema, where are you? Are you core? Are you just source? Let's see, pub use. Oh, this is a main branch too. We want the dev branch. Yeah, ToggleBit just brought in hot reload, which is a really cool feature, but it did break a bunch of stuff. Okay, so there is a pub mod prelude here, and so that should give me a document. Okay, prelude templates document. So let's see if I can bring, and component. Okay, so there is a pub mod component. Maybe that would work. So let's try this. So use anathema. Yeah, I can't see that, which obviously isn't great. Let's see if I remove the, oh right, my alias thing. Unalias ls alias la to ls-al. Okay. So we have cargo lock, cargo toml templates. Okay, so we have all this stuff here. Now, if I do, let's try a cargo clean, just to make sure it's nothing weird like that. Cargo run to recompile, and then we should get the same error messages from before. And then maybe we can LSP, restart the LSP2. Now, it doesn't look like it's crashing, which is a good sign. But it's not able to find it when I try to code complete to pull in something like component ID, which is not great. What do we have in cargo.toml? We have Oh, that's the problem. I'm using just local anathema. Yeah, that would not work. Okay. So we want git equals, where am I? Where are you? It's going to be git anathema. That one it. And then branch def. Okay. So give me those. Let's LSP restart and see if that does it. There we go. Now we found it. Okay, okay. Let's fix all this. So import, I guess like let's also, we'll use anathema prelude star. So that was really weird that that disappeared, even though I didn't pull anything from anathema previously. Nav state. Okay, so type equals nav state. So, oh, the trait bound nav state is not satisfied. Oh, cargo get checkouts. I'm in the wrong thing. Don't want to be in there. I want to, okay, so nav state. Can we go to your definition and we pull in state? There, that should make you happy. Pull you in, pull in you. Guess we don't need that prelude. And time to fix the others. So import you, nav state item. So we need to go to your definition, pull in you and you. And let's see, the context here. I think this is the anathema widgets component context. Okay, that's everything in that file. More. Where are you set up? What are you yelling about? Mismatch types expected struct component ID found in enum result component ID. Oh, okay. So router is a result. Oh, because register component now returns a component ID. So we need to unwrap you. Okay, so if we do that, then you're the correct thing. No method named context found for runtime run. Oh, because I was using error, I think, right? Yeah, I'm using error, which brings in context. Runtime run does not return a result anymore. So it just runs like that. Okay, so let's see. No more errors, no more warnings, which means we should be able to run this again. And almost didn't actually do anything. That's not great. I guess we'll have to trace this. So in here, we have our main file. And our main just runs run and unwrap. That's, great. Okay. So run here, we get the index template. So we load of all our templates. We have an index template, nav template, home template, login template, router template, and a specific nav item template. Although I don't actually know if I'm using that one. I don't remember anymore. Okay, document new index. Okay, so we create a new document. We created a TUI backend. We do all these things. We create a runtime builder. We register the router component. We register the nav component, the homepage component. We register all these components. We then finish the runtime builder to get us a runtime, and then we run that. So I would have hoped this would have done it, but maybe things have changed. In here, do we have any more information? So same reader string, we create a new document, hand it that template. Okay, mute backend, tweet backend builder. Okay, we do all this stuff. Finish unwrap. We create a runtime builder. Runtime finish. Okay. Huh. I wonder. It's not too small of a window, right? If I full screen this, no, it just completely exits right away. It doesn't crash, so it's not hitting an unwrap. It just is not running, which is interesting. What is that runtime run? Yeah. Okay. So it's no longer returning. I don't have to do an unwrap at the end of run. So that makes sense. Alt screen raw, hide cursor, finish unwrap. Alt screen raw, hide cursor. I have enable mouse, finish context, and return that error. Well, that's unfortunate. I was hoping this would just work on its own. So I want to, you know what we could do? We could create a brand new basic app just to make sure that nothing's really weird and wrong. So let's create a, what should we call this? The Anathema Playground. Okay, so if we do hey, Toggle, how are you doing today? Thanks for stopping by. This is strange. I'm not even running into an error. It's just a strange problem. I updated to the latest dev branch, and I had to pull back in all of my changes that I made trying to get it to work before I realized that I was on the local anathema that we tested last week. This is what happens. I just cargo run this. It finishes compiling and then just exits, which is strange. All right, you're running away. I'm gonna go create a bare minimum test here. So I'm gonna call this anathema test. Just wait, no, it's cargo new. I was gonna do a REST up update. There is a new version of REST. We can test it with that. See if maybe there's a weird change there. All right, so let's try a cargo run again. Nothing there. All right, we'll do a cargo new anathema playground. Anathema playground. Okay, so let's what do we want to do here? I want to let's do helix. Let's jump into cargo toml and let's pull. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this is what we have. That should work. Okay, so if we just have you and I don't do anything else for this right now, I will switch over to the main branch and we can actually copy this entire thing, throw you in there, and then just to have some fun with this, I'm going to put the template in here as a string. So we can use a const. So index template stir, and we'll throw you in there. Okay, I think you should be fine with this. And okay, so instead of loading you up like this, we'll just do an index template. You should be happy. Apparently, yeah, we're not using read a string anymore. The doc doesn't need to be mutable. Backend doesn't need to be mutable. And apparently the runtime doesn't need to be mutable either. We're just doing that. Everything is fine. And so if I cargo run this, that's working. Okay, interesting. What did I do? I kind of wonder if I'm pulling in one of the wrong items here. So we have our templates. We're creating a new document using the index template. This document is an anathema templates document. Is that right? Oh, I wonder if that's not right. Not anathema templates document. Oh, but that's the only import that I can do. Okay, so it has to be, are you the same here? Yeah, anathema templates document. Okay, that's fine. We do the TUI backend builder, TUI backend builder, and TUI backend comes from anathema backend, TUI backend. Yeah, anathema backend, TUI backend. Okay. Builder, we do all that stuff. I finish it, and then we unwrap that, or in this case, question mark it. So given that, then it's runtime builder time. Runtime builder, give the doc and a backend. Now, I'm then registering all these components. Now, I wonder if the problem is going to be in the templates. So if I go to the index template and let's see, I have a vstack container. What if I just replace you all with like text hi? So if I do that, no. Okay. So it's not this template. It's something else. And if it's not those templates, that makes me wonder what we can do is I can not register these. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's comment out all the registrations that are happening. Okay, so if I do that and we come back to templates, and then we'll have to go back to this for right now. There we go. We get a hi. Okay, excellent. Let's undo you and start let's take out these. Okay, so container 2, align, text CLI. Okay, so actually this one is the equivalent of what we have right now. It's just all basic stuff. This one brings in the nav component. So let's bring that in, and we'll delete that nav component. So I have the router is router. Let's bring in the nav component. You need the router. Okay, this will be easier the other way around. Okay, so if I add the router component in, which means we take you out. So the router component is very unhappy. Okay, good to know. So we need to figure out what's going on with our router component. Now so register component router uses the router template, component route state. We give it a current value of what the route is. So if we go to the routes, we set what the route state is going to be, give it type message route. Okay. Welcome back. Okay. So I have narrowed down the potential issues that it is. When I try to bring in and register this route component, nothing loads. We just get this, where I just do cargo run, it compiles, gives me a bunch of errors and warnings, all the normal stuff, and then exit out. No like actual hard error, no crash, no nothing else, just nothing. But if I don't register this component, everything works just fine. Am I passing the template path? What do you mean? It's like template path like that? Obviously, this is now also like after updating to the latest version of dev. So my guess is that something changed and I need to, like, this is part of the migration. That should be the path to template with hot reloading. So I no longer need template path. Okay. So template path, now I got it. So template path is going to be, I assume we start here. So we go templates. This is router AML. Yeah, router.aml. Okay, so if I do that, we come back to you. This is the nav, so let's go ahead and continue leaving that out. It didn't like that. Is there any other way for me to know what else is going on? Okay, uncomment the alt screen, and we'll see that. Okay, so let's just comment you out. There we go. Okay, thread main panicked at component rs line 110 assertion left equals right failed. Template component ID 0 right template component ID 2. No, run with rust. Okay, so what are you looking for? A component ID thing? So what is that in? That's a template component ID. Skylar, ooh, hello, how are you doing today? Interesting, there is an assertion to make sure it loads the correct component. Interesting. So I am registering this as router here, and okay, I'm trying to load it in as router here. That message was probably not that helpful. Yeah, it was a little bit hard. Toggle bit can make better oohs. Well, I'm sorry about that. I don't have Togglebit's amazing voice. And years of practice. Yes, give me a few years. Do you load the same component? Do you load the same component loaded twice? I don't think so, but let's find out. So we have in index, we have router here. And in router, I have these two components, home and login. That would be a problem. Okay, home and login. Well, there we go. So we need home. You know what? Maybe I should bring back all of these and we'll just update them all because that might be easier to deal with. So template path, let's see, nav template. So you're going to be templates, nav AML, homepage, template path, templates, home.aml, login page. Ooh, yeah, I called it home. Okay, so that is correct. Okay, login. So templates, login, AML. Nav item is templates, nav underscore item. Okay, so if I do that and we rerun you, didn't like that. Now you can get most of the calls to read a string. That is true. I think I can get rid of all of them at this point because I'm not using any of these except the index template. Okay, no warnings, but I'm still getting a left equals right failed. So left is template component ID and right is template component ID 2. How does it create those template component IDs? And this is also, okay, anathema template source components line 110. We can go and take a look at that too. Let's go find you. Okay, so templates, components, was it line 110? Okay, here's our assert. Or assert ID and new ID. So new ID is self components insert key component source, which these are brought in from a match. Am I using that component in more than one place? Well, which component? The problem. I think I was using nav item component in more than one place. So what if I think that was what? Register prototype? Okay, hold on. I don't think we're even using nav item at all. If I go to, was it home AML? No, it was not home AML. It was index AML. We're not using that in. Okay. Am I searching for nav item? Okay, just a pub mod there and there. Okay, so it's not being used anywhere. So what if I try, nope, it didn't like that. I would need to find out which components are being used in multiple places. Okay, so that's a text, that's a router, home and login. Home is simple, login is simple, just text here. Now if item isn't being used, but it was the name slot anyways, nothing crazy. Yes, that was it. Nothing has been used more than once. Name slot is not the right syntax. Yeah, but I don't even think I'm using nav item at all. I think I can just get rid of this. Let's do process elimination. Only load the index with nothing in it. Sure. And that worked. So let's do this again. So if I just do that, there we go. EyeAP CLI. So we see that in here. In fact, let's try this. There you go. ICLI, no errors, just those warnings. So that works just fine. We pull in the router. And so if we go to our router and we leave this empty, say, so I'd probably have something like a text router like that. I don't see that showing up here. You're right. I did not save index.aml. That would have helped. There we go. Okay. So now we have a router and that plain text. Okay. Good spot, Skimmis. Also, hello. How are you doing today? Okay. So the router is showing, let's add home. Okay, so back to router, let's undo. We have home. Is there a comment system for the templates? Can I comment things out, or is it just full delete? What's the comment? I couldn't find the comment in the wait, you did call it. It is just a double slash, right? So can I do that? Okay, run you and broken. So home is not happy. I comment you out here. Do a cargo watch. Oh, that's a different error. Internal error, entered unreachable code, else none found. This is a bug in Anathema. Please open an issue. Oh, because my else branch is empty. Oh, I don't know. I did save them all. Okay, so did if statements change? So if I just change this to be like text, I am a router. Okay, that is working. So now if we take a look at our routes in our state, we have current, which is a value of type route, and we can see what the route is. Now, previously I was able to, let's see, in route, we manually implement state for route, and we basically make it a toCommon where it is just a string of the name. So we can see if it's home or login, like pretty simple like that. But I'm wondering if I can't do that anymore. Did that change? It's like, can you show me again the router template that breaks? Sure, this breaks. So if I run this, I'm a router. This isn't, oh, you didn't save. That's why. There you go. Okay, so this breaks it. I know. Thank you, Skimmis, for that. I was like, it looks saved up there, but no, I couldn't see the plus down here. That should not have changed. You should be fine implementing your own state. Okay, so hold on. Let's try something really simple. If I say if home is equal to home, that doesn't work. Yeah, it's parsing this fails. Take out the else branch. Okay, so we take out the else branch. There we go. So now we get the if and else text else. That wrote out. Okay, so now if I do not home, that wait, no. Okay, so it's not the comment. It's not the comment in a weird place like that. Wait, why is it now working? Okay, I'm confused. Okay, so then it was current, right? If current equals home, can we? Okay, now that's loading. Comment before else? Ooh, good question. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, so we're not allowed to have a comment before the else inside an if. Out of curiosity, if I put this here, then we're fine. Fine? We're fine. So I can have a comment before I do anything. Now, out of curiosity, if I do a VStack, no, okay, so that still doesn't work. It's not like it's saying like, hey, it's okay if I have multiple of these things as long as it's inside of a VStack. So that's not it. But all right, so bug report, no comments before and else, inside an if. I think it's just straight up comment parsing that is busted. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really done much with comments before. So that would definitely do it. All right, so if current equals home, we're going to display home. I can't remember. Is there an else if? So else if current is equal to login, I want to load login, and it doesn't like that. I can't do else if, right? So I can just do another if. No. Does it work if you remove the else branch? What else branch? I removed the else branch already because these are just ifs, 2 ifs. Oh, so you just have the first if and nothing else. Yeah. No. Okay. Oh, interesting. If we go to home AML, that's all that is. And if we go into our library for homepage, it is identified as home, and it is going to templates home AML. Oh, templates pages home AML. That's the problem. You're going to be the same thing with login. Okay, so with router, your home, you should probably still work. You should probably work now. Okay, and then can I do else if current equals login? There we go. Okay. Strange that it didn't fail in the template path though. Noting that down. Yeah, so it if it can't find the thing, it just attempts to load up and then just crashes when I try to use it, but with not a good error message. So yeah, that would be probably good to validate that the file was found and loaded. That would be nice. Okay, so that's great. We now have this working, which means that I can go back to our index AML. So we have the border router. Let's also do container height 1. I'm going to align them at top. And this is going to be at nav. Missing, okay, that error gave me an actual thing. Missing component is the error. Location library line 52. So library 52, nav. Okay, so nav, templates components. Okay, templates components, nav AML. Oh, and a line. I mean, do I really need to spell things properly? Like toggle bit, feature request. Can we finally make a programming framework that doesn't care if I spell things correctly? We need fuzzy element names. Damn straight. You need to incorporate an AI and an LLM in there that just sort of figures out what I meant to do and do that instead. Okay, so you're still... Oh, new error. In expand, assertion failed total weights length. Isn't that HTML for... No. Yeah, just make a new browser, please, and a DOM. We just make a DOM, and then you can make a shadow DOM while you're at it for the terminal. I'm sure that is not hard at all, right? Do I have an expander or expand somewhere? We have an expand right here, and this was working as long as I didn't have these, right? So if I comment you out, this is fine. So having the expand here is okay until I add another container. Oh, that's why. There we go. Okay. It was accidentally used curly brackets instead of square brackets for the container. Okay, so now I can, yeah, we have a working router. So we can click on home and login, and it changes what we have displayed here. Now, if I want you to also take up the same, can I expand both? Can I expand axis vertical and axis horizontal? Is that a documentation for like, is there like a both? So expand, wait, if I do expand, okay, horizontal or vertical, but I don't think I need either of these. I could just do this, right? So I save that. Oh, because index doesn't hot reload. Oh, that's the thing. Index doesn't hot reload. So I have to reload you for that. Oh, but that doesn't expand here. Okay, expand access, what is it? Hors. I missed some things. Let's see. Okay, so I moved the access and it uses both. Why is this not using both then? I think it works because it has a constrained height. Otherwise, it would flip out. Okay. Well, the other things have a constrained height, but expand doesn't. What I'm curious about though is why isn't this expanding all the way to the right? That's what I want. Is like to expand all the way over here and like I want a border of this out. Is that possible? Expand inside the border. Oh, I expand in. Oh, okay. So I do this order of it, which then means I don't need you at all. A border that assigns itself around the children. Okay, got it. So there we go. That's what I wanted. All right. I'm glad we've reinvented CSS problems for the terminal. I'm looking forward to more of these. But all right, so we have our nav, and then we have sort of like a main section that we can put stuff in, which is really cool. And if we remember correctly, I want to start at home, and I think I am not at home by default. We are at login by default. So if we go back to, so wherever we have route login, I want to make this home. I think it's just in those two places. Yes, okay. So if we save you, just the template's changing does the hot reload. So there we go. We start at home, we are home, and we can then navigate to login. Okay, you see what I was doing? You would use an H stack with two spacers instead. See Discord. Okay, an H stack spacer nav spacer. Oh, to get horizontal. Yeah, I was doing a I guess we can say congratulations, ToggleBit. I figured out I re-implemented the equivalent of float, the float centering trick in Anathema. Yay. Okay, so this was, instead of container align, we do an H stack spacer nav spacer like that. Okay, cool. And it's still centered. Which in this case, I probably want to do the same thing up here too, because I'm just doing that here as well. So I want to H stack spacer, put on there spacer. Oh, but I'm okay with that. I could also give myself a little bit more room here if I put my nav to the right of this and I just make you to the left. So you start at the left, we have a spacer, and then we have a nav, and then we get rid of you. So now we have our nav on the right, and we have the title of our app on the left, and then we have our border so we can actually see the homepage. Okay, cool. I like it. Oh, what happens if you use a row widget? Ignore my comment about the row. Okay, I'll do that. All right, so we have the ability to navigate around, and the entire point is that we want to do some authentication type things. So one of those, the earlier edge stack didn't look centered to you. It looks like it's more to the left. I wonder if that, yeah, I don't know if it's because like some of the other stuff in Zellage that I have going on. We can play around with it the next time we do that. But okay, so I want, if I want go to the login, we want to send you to the login, right? So we need a link to navigate to. Is it possible for me to click on something and it opens up outside of here? Do I have a space after the final pipe? Yeah. That was actually going to be a question, ToggleBit, which is, let's go to nav. I do have a space after the final pipe. I'll do it. Let's say I didn't want these. I don't want that text there. I want just this here with a space in between these two. Like what if I want that? So I still, that's why I end up having a space here. Is there a way for me to say I want a spacer in between all of these except for this last one? If loop does not equals 0, not the last one. Right, yeah. Wait, so is loop a special variable? So could I do something like this? If loop is equal to 0, we're going to text nothing at all. Else, we're going to text that. What? Loop is the loop counter. Oh. Is there a way for me to get the length of the loop of like how long these are? Because this is obviously just going to be the first one. If I have another route in here, this isn't going to work. Because this is just saying if it's the first one. Not yet. Skylar asked about that. So you might add the length property. Okay. Yeah, if you have the length property, then I can do something like if loop is not like length -1, then do this. Otherwise, do nothing. And I probably don't need this at all, right? This just works fine. So as long as we have only one route, only two routes, we're okay with this. Otherwise, I'll probably need to do something like, I could inverse it. So you print the pipe before the label. Yes. We can throw you in here and we can say, okay, if loop equals 0, so if loop is not equal to 0, print the pipe like that. And just to make sure it actually did the thing, not that. There we go. Okay. So that works. Okay, there we go. That works. If we're not the first loop, if we're not the first item, not the first time through, print this out and then do this. Okay. So there we go. That works. Add another route. All right. So if we go to our routes, routes. Okay. So we have home login, and we can just say like we'll call it secret for right now. So names secret, route secret becomes secret. Just unused stuff. Yeah, there we go. So now we have another item in between here, and I can't click on secret because where's our mouse? Too common. Where's our mouse handler? It was on nav. On mouse, route. Oh, new from name. That's what it is. Okay, so if we do secret, self secret like that. Now, okay, now I can then navigate over there. Cool. The real Enrico, hello. How are you doing today? Is this Actix? Yes. This is the new Actix. Not Actix Web, Actix CLI. And then I'll let Togglebit take the rest. Cool. Okay. So Actix TUI, yeah. All right. So if I go back to login, now the idea here is that for our FusionAuth page, we want to send our users over here, and we haven't done a link in a. I've actually never like done a link in a terminal. Usually I just sort of like put that into a paste buffer, which we could potentially do, like have a button to do something like that. But if we go to our applications, and of course I need to relog in. Here's our EyeAP, and you want. See, is this it? I think. Oh, redirect URL. Okay, so this is where I want to go. I want to take them all here, except that just gives me the code. I want to go in. Okay, so I need FusionAuth. Go to their developers, documentation. Go find their API, and specifically hosted backend. We know it's set up for us. Oh, but this won't work. Hosted backend won't work because this attempts to set cookies for us, which won't work at all. You're into Schrodinger's doubt now. Is it the web framework or not? I know I'm seeing Anathema, but where there are routers coming from. I know. Fun, right? I'm like the router is really for just different little like sub pages or something else. But the idea is like I'm bringing web type ideas to a terminal, but there's no, like, you can still have a router without a URL or a URI. Yeah, exactly what Skim has said. It's just a locally created type that has the same functionality as the web framework routes. Yeah, exactly. Maybe not the exact same functionality as the routes. Maybe it has slightly less functionality, but the general idea. Ooh, you changed my Helix theme. Okay. It looks much darker now, but that looks nice. Yeah, we're doing Turl routing. I wish I had a badum-tus sound on my sound deck. That would be perfect. But okay, so how would I do authentication here? So I have to do the good old code grant thing, don't I? Because I'm not going to get a cookie inside of a terminal unless for some reason, no, it won't work because I send them to there. Okay, so I don't want to do, like, if I wanted you to log in just like a normal, like a code type thing, Turl, TUI, we need to spitball some cool acronyms here. Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Like Togglebit could go away, have some nice dinner, have a nice sleep, come back to finding out that we've decided to rechange Anathema to be something completely different. I'm sure Togglebit will be fine with that. Okay, I think I won't. Okay, I won't be able to do this without launching a web server. A web server to catch the login as it's coming in. That's what we have to do. You're really happy to see the proposals for reusable components today. Yeah, there's a lot of really good ideas there, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they go in. I think that if when you add in the ability to do function calls in the templates, I believe that I'll be able to make the router as a shareable component and even put that up on crates.io, because I think that I'll be able to make it dynamic and less hard codey, and it'll be much easier to use. And then you can basically just, anybody could create something like this fairly easily, or about as easily as you can in front-end frameworks on the web, which would be pretty cool, I think so. Anathema to Amatana. No one will know. But isn't Anathema named after a band, so you have to now come up with another band to name it after? Or someone needs to start a new band so Togglebit can follow it. Almost a palindrome. So close. Yeah. We need to start an open source band. If it's anything like D&D bands, then we're going to start it, but we'll never actually meet to make any music. We'll just do like the naming of everything and do all the pre-work. Okay. So yeah, there's a couple different ideas to go here, but I think that if I wanted to use a CLI for this, we have a couple different options. One of them is we have to make a decision about where this TUI would live. If this TUI would be me and mine, and I'm also the owner of the app in FusionAuth, I can have the secret, and then we're fine. So if I have the secret, we're good to go and we're okay. However, if we're instead doing machine to machine, but I don't control it, it's some random machine, sort of like it's on your computer, it's some random browser, then I probably need to use the code grant, get the code out of the URL, and then get the code to exchange for a token, which, if I remember correctly, we were able to, remind me later. Were we able to figure this out? So I want to, this exchange code for a token. Let's see, body. Okay. Oh, but I still need to set a client secret. Yeah. So you still need a client secret to exchange the code. What are my other choices? So not hosted backend. Like I can't, come on. Here, let's ask their AI. Let's see if they know what's up. So I want to log in using a terminal application, but I can't use a secret. Is that possible? Let's see what their AI says. You're gonna go make some tea, be back in 5. Well, awesome, and thank you so much for the help earlier. We got it going. Yes, it is possible to log in using a terminal application without a secret. One way to do this is by SSH keys for authentication. Okay, I was hoping that it would give the context of in FusionAuth, not just here's how to do SSH. Then okay, two-factor. Okay, so what choices do I have for machine to machine auth? Okay, client credentials grant. That's the one where I get the grant, then I use the secret to exchange it for a token. OAuth and JOTs. Oh, FusionAuth API keys can be used for machine-to-machine authentication. These keys can be created and managed via the FusionAuth API source. Oh, right. And authentication tokens. So if I want to use an API key, so I need to basically do a bit of login to grab information so I can make a call to Hasura. Because that's the entire point, is I want to make a call to Hasura so we can grab stuff. I can get this key though, but I need a JOT. So let's go to JOTs and refresh tokens. And if I want to create and get a JOT, issue a JOT. Okay, so if I grab you, we get the application ID, optional refresh token. We're using the default, so I don't think it's required. And then they should give us a JOT back, right? The encoded access token. So we can get access token that way. So, all right. So if I create, where do we put API keys? API keys right there. So if I create a new API key, here's the key. Okay, that's what it would be. Thank you for. See, it's good to figure out what's going to be exposed when I just look at this. How very hard would it be to roll your own OAuth? I haven't done it myself, but I looked into it at one point in time. It's not that it's hard, it's that it's time consuming and there's a lot of sort of steps in the standard for OAuth. But, and specifically OAuth 2, right? Like we generally don't talk about OAuth 1 anymore. But like that being said, I don't think anybody wants to ever maintain that kind of thing. And so you just, I'm just going to outsource all the auth stuff to something like FusionAuth. They can update it. If there's any bugs in the entire auth system, it's their job to fix it, and I can grab them for support. Some things like that. So that's generally what I go for. Okay, let's say the default tenant. It's not a manager of other keys. There's no access control list. Endpoints of what this can do. Okay, so if I want you to get a jot vend. So I want a get for that. I think that's all I need. This looks like to be in alphabetical order. So if I just do this key can only be used to generate a jot for my user, just for any user, right? Okay, so if I take you, I could vend this. We need to send, okay, so this is gonna be a new route, new request. I would need to put this in a header somewhere. We need to figure out how to use this, how to use this API key, which I think they actually say here, API authentication. Oh, just authorization, and that's it. Okay, cool. So do authorization and throw the key in there. Yeah, doing your auth yourself is just a nightmare. It's because I've done auth a few different times myself, and I've done auth with like other systems, and I've just come to the conclusion that I just don't want to work on that at all. I would rather spend my time elsewhere. And once you learn how to integrate using like a third-party system like this, it becomes easier and quicker over time as you do so. And that's it. That's usually what I found. Okay, so we're going to do a get to HTTP 9011, and I think it's API issue a jot. So API jot issue. So API jot issue. And then you want an application ID as the request parameter, which means we need to go find our application ID. Okay, and 401. Okay, so what am I missing? That's optional. Not required because we don't have more than one. Okay, so this needs an access token. So maybe it's the wrong... Oh, but it was also like a vend. Okay, so there's issue a jot, vend a jot. This API is used to create a free-form access token jot with claims defined by the caller. The only reserved claims that cannot be specified are exp@. The IAT claim is the issued at the time of the jot, and the exp is the expiration time of the jot. Okay, so this vends. Okay, so FusionAuth tenant ID. I can use my API key. Claims. Oh, but this won't add in anything. So this is not helpful. You're looking at the pricing of FusionAuth, and unless you're a starter, it gets expensive for beginners. But beginner is free, so that's great. Yeah, so the there's a community edition of FusionAuth that is free. And so far, we've just been using free stuff so far. And it seems to be pretty good for what we want. And the way to keep it free is to self-host it. So you put it in a Docker container, you put it on AWS or DigitalOcean, something like that, and now it's just running for you. What's great is that you can choose the cadence that it updates, and you can roll it back to previous versions if things go horribly wrong. So generally speaking, because you're hosting it, it's going to be as stable as the systems that you put it on, and obviously as stable as their systems are. So it's not going to get hammered by random people, hopefully, because it's not like also being shared with everybody else using the service too. You can use other solutions rolled by others. The real Enrico. I was just harping on about not rolling your own because you end up on the front page of Reddit for the wrong reasons if you do. Or that's also another thing too. Okay, so I don't think I can use I can't use an access token that way. So that's not what I want to do. Now, can I go into users and create some kind of like token for me? So registrations, multi-factor, passkeys. I wonder if that would work. I don't see anything else that might work for that. Passkeys. Where do I create those? Settings? It's nothing like that. It just says no web authn passkeys have been registered. Do I create it myself? And I can't like go and associate this with a user, right? Oh, That's the one I wanted. But yeah, okay. So I can't do anything with that. Keymaster? No, those are just actually like key pairs, like certificates. That's not what I want. I do vaguely remember reading about something that we can do for a user for an app where we can say like, hey, here's like a secret. Here's like something that's the equivalent of a password. And then you can just have that and use that. And that's what I would really love to do. Add user, add to group, remove from group. That's not really helpful. Then once I'm in here, okay, let's add us into EyeAP. We don't have multi-factor set up. I don't see a way to add a passkey. What do? Do you, that locks the account. I may not lock my own account. Okay, there's source type stuff, but I don't think that's helpful. Passkey? No, there's no users with that. Okay, so application. Now, if I go to application, can I edit you and add in something like that? WebAuthn. Enabled to allow users to authenticate on personal devices using a passkey after identifying themselves with username or email. This workflow can be used to authenticate from a new device using WebAuthn. But yeah, we don't, okay, so that's not what I want to use. Allow users to optionally authenticate using an application-specific token in place of their password. Okay. A user's normal password is not a good option for authentication. For example, a password needs to be stored in external configuration and the exposure risk is low. A token can be used in place of a user's password. So it can be, okay. So now I think if I use the password grant for this, it's not great, but it means that I can, I believe, send a username and password directly from, yeah, I would probably want to create a completely new application normally for this. That way it would be the password one. And then the web ones would be authorization code and refresh token. But okay, if I did a password grant for this, let's see if it will tell me how I can use that. Okay, Mirage looks pretty good. It's not as dark as IU Dark. Okay, we have the complete list of grants. So let's see what happens when I read password grant. They're gonna hate me, right? Resource owner password credentials grant. This grant is based on the functionality of the username and password credentials of a resource owner user to authorize and access protected data from a resource server. This kind of grant works well for trusted first-party clients on both web and platform applications. It is also useful as a stepping stone when porting applications using custom auth solutions over to OAuth-based solutions. Okay, so the flow. The clients ask the user for authorization credentials, generally a username and password. So I ask for that and I get the username and password from the user, which is correct. So basically that would be me implementing a username and password form. The client sends a post request with the following body parameters to the authorization endpoint on the authorization server. Yes, this is exactly what we want. Grant type with the value password, scope with a space delimited list of requested scope permissions. I get that. I get token type and access token. Okay, so I get all that stuff. Perfect. So this is what I want. So I need we need to create a login. So we have a login page. So in our login page, we have text, I am the login page. Great. Let's instead say, let's do a VStack. We want maybe like text username, text password. And then I need some kind of input to grab the username and password. And really, this is probably going to be email. Let's be honest. And what options do I have for input? Can I do an input? Let me share my input state. Is there, yeah, like I'm curious about like how an input works. Like there's no default widgets for input, so I have to create it, right? So yeah, this is gonna be a new component. A new custom component. Let's go find load up that. Ignore the commented out jazz at the end. What if I don't? What if we just view you? Okay. What do we got here? So we're gonna have so you have an input component, input component for input. Yeah, so we have to implement our own component for input. And then your input state is a bunch of different things. So you have input, cursor position, block. Oh, Oh, but yeah, this is why we need a component library, right? Because then we can just do things like this and I won't have to worry about it anymore. The component is what you would write and use the input state. Yeah, okay. So now if I copy you, let's try this. I wish that this gave me some feedback that the copy worked. Let's see if I can use this as a shared, like we're gonna do a shared component here. So new here, we're gonna write to CLI source. This would be in components, and we're gonna call this input.rs. Okay, so here we have all of you. Save you, no errors. Great. And then you need a template. You didn't put the template in here, right? What does the template look like? Oh no, you don't even have a template for that anymore? Oh no. Okay. What so for our input, we have, let's see, for the state, we have input, cursor position, block. Oh, so okay. You think it's just a text input, but like what do I display? It should probably be something with a border, right? Like if I let's just put a border around it anyways to sort of like see what we have going on. I mean, if I do that, let's just put a border and see what happens. And then we have to register this entire thing. Ooh, I am not a fan of Ayu Mirage for this. I don't like this big giant yellow, like the yellow injected. Like it's very easy to see that it is a type injected here and it's not my code, but I don't like the way it looks. Okay, so we have input. Okay, we use a runtime builder. We're gonna register component. Input template path is templates. Nope. Templates components. Input AML. Input. And then input state. Pub super. Wait, what does super do again? I don't remember what the super does on this, like pub super struct input. Just make it available in one up. Okay, so cannot find value input state, but also no code actions. So it doesn't know how to find it. So in mod for components, pub use input state. Input state is private and cannot be re-exported. Oh, that's the problem. Okay. Unresolved import Unicode width. Oh, this is a crate. I need to pull in. Okay, super means it's only visible to the parent. Ah, okay. So that's why I have to remove that. So let's get rid of that. Let's see. Unresolved import. Okay, Unicode width. Add that. Restart our LSP and see if that works. Oh, and Stream Manager died. Hold on. Let me bring it back up. Okay, Stream Manager is back. I don't know why that dies. It seems to be it's reconnecting the WebSocket, and it's like, hey, I'm registering again. It's like you've already registered, which seems strange. So I don't know what's going on. It like for some reason decides to retry to register, and I guess I'm unwrapping or not handling that as an error. I need to fix that. But okay, we're good again, which means that you can change Ayu Mirage to something else now. All right, let's see. We added you. Cannot find value input in the scope. Now I can import you as input, and I can import you. Expected value from the state. Okay, so can I do, right, you have a new Bogster. That's, oh, this is a thing. It both looks better and worse at the same time. That's impressive. I should actually press the check mark so you actually use up all your points. Okay, so what are you upset by? Because, oh, expected semicolon there. There we go. Okay, so we just have some warnings. So let's not worry about the warnings right now. So if I go to our login, oh, I need to use the input. So that's our login page. So text email, and we're going to do at login. No, at input. I guess because we don't have anything in here. So text, I am an input. Yeah, so that shows up here like that, which is great. And I would love to have a border. And so if we have something like, so I'd probably do something like expand axis horrors border. That's not what I wanted. Vert Oh, wait. But let's see. It's one. Oh, it's probably one. So I can do a H stack. Okay, hold on. Let's do this differently. So I don't do an H stack. Maybe I do an H stack here. I would probably want something like a name. So this would be a text input, and then I would want the border width like 20. There's nothing in it. Height 1. Oh, that's odd. 2. I need height 3. Oh, that alignment looks a little bit weird. I didn't think I was going to run into that problem here. Let's see, H stack. I thought I wanted a horizontal like that. If we get rid of you, I just have that there, then it looks, I guess, kind of okay. It's probably because it's empty. Okay, because like I don't have like, okay, so if I save you, we have just text, plain text in there. That's great. Borders, it's like that. We go to our login AMI. I have a V stack for this, and then we do an H stack, text email, and then input like you. So then you show up, and then I'd want, okay, I had a 2, so I need, well, now I put in no height at all. Now I just have a width, and it should be auto height. So like, so I need to align H stack. I need to align email to be the center of this alignment. But that's email there. Okay. Oh, okay. I have another. Oh, okay. You have your basic import. Okay. Let's copy that. Throw this into input here. Okay. So it's a border Z stack, text input, position left, cursor position, text. Okay. So let's try this. And let's also get rid of our whatever this is. And let's just throw in the input. And that's all we care about. So if I put something like this, border, let's give it a width of like 50, maybe not 50, maybe 20. Now, if I try to type in there, that doesn't do anything yet. So I don't think it's not set up for inputs. Oh, here's my component using it. Okay, hold on. Next step. Okay, so then you have your impl component on index. So, okay, let's go into our input. So impl. Okay, so you have your on key. Is this the same one that you had before? So we have on key, match, let's see, match the key code. Okay, so if it's a character, state insert C, tab insert that. Okay, well that should be fine, right? This is component for input. So when I press things in, nothing seems to happen. Now you're going into state and you're inserting the character, but the state, okay, so then you have a function on state that takes a character, self input. Okay, so hold on, you have your input here. So value string, yeah, text input. Wait, should it be text input or just text input like that? What does your component look like? It's let's see. Well, text input, yeah, input is just string new like that. Insert, self input, to mute, insert that, figure out the new cursor position, and then update the cursor position. Does your component have a state that wraps the input? Well, I mean, I don't think so, right? Because we have input state, input like this. Also, reminder, I'm not really familiar with this component because I kind of just stole it from you. Okay, I see what you mean. State is just input state. So it's not wrapped in anything else. Is that what you mean? And then we have our handlers. That works. Okay. Now here, let's try this. If I just do state dot input, let's just set this to be whatever the character is. Are you okay with that? New value to owned, just to make it a string. Let's get rid of all these warnings, just in case. Insert is never used. That's fine. I like that. Output is never used. We don't do anything like that. Okay. Nav item, never used. Okay, so we're good to go here. So we go to login. Okay, so when I press anything, it doesn't show up. Maybe I should copy the last one you sent. Okay, so this is on, let's find out. Okay, so this is the impl component for index. Right, and I'm getting, let's get rid of the contents of impl. Okay, so we have our type message is a usize. State is index state. On key, we do all these things, and then state, input, mute, insert C. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing, except you're just doing it here instead of using the variables. Except we have a ton of errors. What are you upset about? Mismatching closing delimiter, closing bracket. The real Enrico. I said hi to you before oh, you set the theme to cat Pusin. This looks better. I like it more. Theme, I say? Yeah. You can change the themes. Okay, but you have to tab to the input component. Oh, I have to tab into it before it does the thing? Okay, let's try that. So if okay, cool. I can't, only the current component will get the input. Wait, how does that work? Oh wait, what did I do? Mismatch closing delimiter yew. So on key, oh yeah, you don't close here. And then we're missing that. Cannot find index state, but this is input state, right? Yeah, I do have a cooldown for this. So I will give you back. Here, I'll give you back the points for that one. You can't see the stream manager? Oh, those should disappear over time. And then you can see the stream manager again. I don't think I have a cooldown on my side. I don't think I do. Or if I do, usually I have the Twitch cooldown be a little bit higher than the cooldown I have on my side. So that way it doesn't have a problem. Yeah, it's sort of like a fake cooldown. I think that it can be changed. I can still change it back manually. Okay, so what else? What still are you yelling at me about? Okay, so you had index state, but oh, you're right. Okay, so hold on. Index state is correct. I didn't pull in index state. That was the problem. So I need that too. OnKey has 4 parameters, but the declaration in trait OnKey has 5. What am I missing? We have key, state, elements. Key, state, elements. Okay, so first things first, every component implements except focus and it returns true by default. So if you have components that should not get input, you can implement this function and return false there. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Oh yeah, I might not have that theme. Hold on, what was that theme again? The theme was Kanagawa Dragon, right? Okay, let's check. So I do have the theme here, Kanagawa Dragon like that. Kanagawa -dragon. That should have worked. Here, I'll just give it to you for free. We're on Kanagawa Dragon. Oh, is that a new one that got added? Oh, I probably haven't added it in because I'm manually checking it. So we need to add that theme in. So hold on, let me add new themes to Stream Manager. Because I am looking at the list, but I hard coded it into the binary, so it when we updated Helix, it didn't update what the default themes are. But this one looks pretty good. Okay, schizophrenic web developer, you're building user settings page where user can upload profile picture and reset password and username and email address. Is this hard to do or easy? That shouldn't be that specifically hard to do. That should be decently easy to do, I would think. It was me all along. It always was. It always was. Okay, what have I done? So much easier to see the errors in this theme. Okay, so we have colon there. That's not good. Okay, OnKey has 4 parameters, but the declaration in trait OnKey has 5. So, oh, it's the context. Like that, right? No method named insert, but there is an insert. So I need to, go to insert, delete that, make you happy. Mismatch types, expected index state, found input state. Okay, so register. Okay, so now this should be, except you're not available. Index state. Okay, so you need to be pub. New brings that in. Okay, so index state, new. Like that. Okay. Never used. Okay, so we just a bunch of warnings. Okay, let's rerun you again. We'll go to, okay, so basically you're saying if I tab, okay, but it's not like grabbing a bunch of random stuff. So I need to figure that out. Yeah, it should be easy enough. Upload the image, store the path to some associated data. So I don't know if you're planning on doing this, schizophrenic, but for anybody else who's also watching, there is a tendency that I've seen from a lot of people when they're first starting to do files and especially images, to try to store the image itself into a database. Don't do that. It's a nightmare. It ends up like, technically, is it possible? Yes. Is it a good idea? No. And it's not done in the sort of like the professional sort of like world. Generally speaking, you use something like a data store like S3, like a Dropbox type thing, where you can dump a file, like a binary file, and you get metadata back. Like, here's the URL to go find the file. Here's like other things. That stuff, the metadata, you put that into your database. There's an on focus and on blur for component. So if you wanted to, you can set a border or color or fade out the color based upon focus. Oh, so I don't know that it's on focus or not. There we go. Okay, so that's why when I go to here, I hit tab until eventually I take the on focus, which is not happening. Huh. Are you sure it's tab? Did I not save? Let me try that again. I remember it took a whole bunch of tabs before I can get it previously, but it's not showing up. Yeah, I'm not getting it. Add a color to the state and change it on blur focus so you can see. Okay, so I guess we don't have that right now. So we need input state. Now I would do this on, okay, so input state and change it on blur. Okay, so we're going to do input state. We're going to do a focus color spelled the right way. Value. I need to actually put it up here. Let's see. Struct input state, focus color. The value of, I guess we'll just put a string in here. Value new. Yeah, a hex. Lol English. You know what I have told you this before? I remember reading about this from a couple different sources, so I have a reason to believe that it's true. But we here in America never really changed that much, which the spelling of words that we use. And where did we get our spelling from? Okay, so we do a focus color like that. Let's go into our login here. We have vstack. Okay, so this input, no, I want the input AML. So border, I can put color here. That is correct. The Z was replaced with S in many English words too. Yeah, so the old English spelling of some words are the same as American English. Yeah, so like what you all had originally is what we still have right now. And then you all tell us that we're incorrect even after you changed it, which is sort of like a fun way, is like we just didn't get with the times, apparently. So don't blame us for not following the metric system. That's not our fault. Okay, it was foreground, background. How do I set the color for the border? Is it foreground or is it background? Probably foreground, right? Okay, yeah, foreground, and then it'll be just a string. So foreground, and then it is focus color, which I did not do right. Focus color. Oh, wait, but don't we have another input state? Input state, and then we have, now I'm getting confused with what we had. We have index state. Okay, so index state has input. Okay, so it's text input like that. Nope. Well, yes, but also input dot. There we go. Okay, so now I have this blue, which I don't know if you can see that very well. That's where I should have added the color. Okay, let's do that. In input state, we're gonna take you, index state, throw you in here, back to input state, grab you, throw you in there like that. Okay, so now we have index color, and so I can restart you. All right, there we go. So we have nice and blue. And then we import component. No, let's see. Where's our input? Pubstruct index state, derive state. I don't want an index. It was import component for input. Okay, so this is one on focus and on blur. So function on focus, I want to do state dot focus color set to be red. We'll toString that. You don't return. Okay, and then on blur, we'll do state dot focus color set to be blue to string. Okay, so back to login here. When I hit, there we go. Now we have red. So I would want to go through and turn everything off by default. Interesting. Okay. A lot of things need to be handled by this. So it has when I went into it and I gave it focus, it also tabbed in, which is why I have those 4 things. But I can now type into it. Okay, good to know. Maybe not everything. Well, I would probably want, because there's a lot of things to sort of consider with like tabbing wise of how to do this. Can you move the cursor with the arrow keys and insert into the text? So I can do this, and then I can arrow keys back and forward. Stacking, hello. How are you doing today? I can't click around it, but that's okay. That's sort of understandable. That's going to take a lot more work. The cursor isn't showing the underlying text. Correct. I can't see underneath it. The cursor is just over it altogether, which is not necessarily an easy thing. But at least it doesn't crash if I try to go outside this limit. Edit the template? Sure. That's what's your cursor? Position, text, background green. Oh, because I already set it to be true. Okay. So you do nothing here. Yeah, this is an interesting problem. Change the text to be a container with a width and height of 1. Okay, so we do container width 1, height 1, like that. Hey, look at that error message. I like that. That's cool. Now, I think you're yelling at me because I don't have anything in here, right? Error on line 5. Dedent does not match previous indentation levels. We have position, container, and then we need oh, you're probably right. Oh yeah. Replace. There we go. That works. All right. So back to here. Yeah. Oh, I need the inverse where was the inverse? Okay. Remove the text should just be a container with the attribute reverse true. Okay. Inverse true. Okay. That looks bananas because the text is wrapping. Yeah, it does. All right. This is where I need to set the width of this to be 100%. Oh yeah, I can. Nice. That looks good. That looks really good. I can set the text to overflow, which it was overflow like this, right? Can I just change all the text to tabs? Okay, fine. We're going to do it the opposite way because that's what I have. Replace with tab. Okay. So if we do that, then you're happy. Okay. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so now if I type up, that still happens though. Oh, set wrap overflow. Oh, it's on the text. Oh, I thought it was on, okay. So text wrap overflow. There's that. Yeah, I probably could have done that. And index style right now I have to be spaces. So, no, sorry, not spaces. I have tabs, which I generally like tabs because then it shows up on people's editors, like whatever they use as whatever they want, as opposed to always being whatever I say that they want. Okay, when I come back over here, I have to reselect it again. So the problem is though, I need to keep, we need to figure out, I think we can make this better by using an actual overflow element and offsetting it with the cursor. Yeah, so there's stuff we would need to do here, but this is all stuff when we get around to making an actual component library, especially with the input component, then we're going to have some fun making that. But okay, so if we have this, you've thought about switching 2 tabs from spaces, but a lot of formatters includes Rust format and four spaces now. Yeah, I just sort of left whatever my I think I have the default. I probably should look into Rust format and switching it to spaces in a global setting, because I think I can do that now. Okay, so let's say I wanted to we do Brooks at that, and so I have that as my input. Great. Your width there. That looks better. And maybe more specifically as the login AML, I have a VStack. We have input. What I probably want to do is an HStack here, and then we're gonna say text email. Oh right. Is it container for this? If you set the min height to 3 on the border, it will look nicer for the input, that is. Oh, yeah, that's true. Min height is 3. Okay. And then I just want a container for this, right? So container height 3. Oh, then I need a line, right? Oh, I think here you can try the row element. I don't think I've tried the row element before. Horizontal layout elements where all the elements are centered vertically. Okay, so instead of H stack, we do row. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that looks like what we want. So we have email like that. We should probably just do another row. We have text password. All right, so as soon as we do this, we get this component has already been used. Love that. Love the error message. You know, one thing that could make the error message even better would be if it says you need to make the input a prototype. And so instead of register component, register prototype, how does this work? So we have the the template path, proto, and state. So proto is an FC, expected if function once closure. What do you return? Is this like that? Pass function, so index state new instead of, well, wait a second. It says proto. What's the proto? Like state is something else here. So the prototype is FC, component, and then, okay, component state. So you return that, and then you're going to be, and you return index state like that. I know what language I'm using. Use for fill access or method call. Oh, wait, I don't have to do that. I just do that. 4 arguments, but 6 arguments were supplied. What? What have I done? JS developer spotted. What? No, I don't touch JS. Don't look at my repos. Oh, so I can just pass index state new instead of, oh, okay. So hold on. So I can just do index. I'm still confused of what proto is though. Like the state I get to just like do new, but like index, it's like, what is proto doing? It's also like just short, so I don't really understand what this is. Devninya, hello. How are you doing today? And welcome with the raiders. Thank you so much for the raid. Nigel Withrow, hello. How are you? Dev, how was your stream? What are you working on today? Now you're here. Okay. Welcome, Dev Ninja. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing today? Welcome, raiders. And what were you working on? Oh, you needed to disable your VPN first. Dang VPNs, ruining everything. Oh, yeah. Parentheses not. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was still being a web developer, apparently. That's my problem. I don't know how to not be a JavaScript developer. Okay. Let me see what I missed. Let's see. Okay. You're working on your own programming language. Infinite coder help pretty much with parsing numeric expressions like 1 + 1. Nice. I have never done any kind of creating a programming language or parsing things like that. So that's pretty cool. So awesome. Great job on that. We are currently working on a, well, technically it's a centralized authentication sort of like system, playing around with that. But today has been all about the CLI front end for it, which is over here. It is a front end framework for the command line called Anathema, written by our very own Togglebit. Infinite Coder, hello. How are you doing today? You actually see someone using Zellage with the default configuration. Yes. Wait, did I just... Stream Manager just crashed. Well, that's cool. Hold on, let me bring it back up. I do like, so what I found is that I like having the tabs on the top because I constantly forget what I'm doing and where I am going. And, oh, wait, what did I do? Don't go over there. Stay here. So I really like sort of seeing the tabs of where I am. And then down here, I tend to lock my Zellage by accident a lot when I just do that. I'm like, and then just nothing works. I'm like, why can't I change tabs? It's like, oh, right, I'm locked. So I tend to need to do that over and over and over again. Come on, let's try this again. Okay, Stream Manager is down. I don't know what happened. It crashed hard and died. And it wasn't giving me the new URL to connect to Twitch. So that's cool. You neither, but you rolled out your own Lexer for like 10 times. The only hard thing is the parser. Well, eventually I'll probably play around with that. See Yash, hello. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. With help from Togglebit, we've gotten pretty far into using this. getting Anathema set up for, and now we have an input, although it's really rough around the edges. It is a reminder that we need to set up a, oh, and we can just do this, can't we? Let me show you what we have. Oh, right. We have to quit you, restart you. There we go. Okay. So here's what we got. We got a terminal application. I'll just go ahead and full screen this because it, I think, looks a little bit cooler that way. Yes, and ToggleBit does stream while working on Anathema, which is pretty cool. Here's a lesson: commit and push often. Yes, indeed, yes. Okay, so we have a router of sorts in here. Even though we're in the terminal, I'm sort of like trying, it's a component-based system. So I was able to create a route component, and we started the home page, and we can switch over to the login screen. And now we have a few input elements. Now, correct, yeah, here, I'll do this. Now you'll be able to see it properly. Well, maybe a little bit more. Okay, so we can move around. I can go to different pages. We go to the login element. I can't click into here right now yet, but we can tab in eventually and just start typing. Ignore that. That's just something that happens. And it's fun, but okay. So we can type our email. So I can do brooks@melanator.com. We go to password, and I can type my really cool password that's definitely not going to be exposed to all of you when I do this. We'll probably, when we build a component library, we're going to need a secret input too. So it's just stars whenever we put something in there. Yeah, we need some kind of mask. I mean, generally speaking, it would just count what we have and just put stars in. Where, here, there we go. There's our password. The password is totally not just a bunch of asterisks. Just use apples as password. Since it's plural, it won't be any dictionary. Oh, yeah, totally. You know, absolutely secure. Nobody can possibly guess this. Okay, so then I need a button. I need some way to then say, hey, we're good to go. So I want to, you know, have a login here. So we can do that. That's not right. I want to undo full screen. And where's our login? Okay, so eventually we would create like a button input. Let's not worry about that right this second. And we'll do another row, and we'll say we have a border, and inside the border will be text login. There we go. Now we have our login button right there. Obviously, we need to handle this for clicking and doing all that fun stuff. And then we can send this on up. Luckily, I don't have any level, this is just all local username and password stuff. So we'll create a new account maybe, and you'll just use like apples, unless they don't let me do that. Oh, also YouTube, I missed you. TT, hello. How are you doing today? Can I help you with your Google account? Too many failed attached unavailable because of too many attempts. Ooh, I don't know how to help with that besides contacting YouTube support. That's unfortunate. Sometimes if you have too many failed attempts after several hours or a day, it resets and you're able to get back in. But if they've permanently locked your account, then you don't really have much of a choice. Everlyn, hello. How are you doing today? What is this? This is, well, I guess here we have the terminal is Alacrity, and then I have Zellige as the window manager running it. So it's all the three windows. And then over here is a CLI application running in a framework called Anathema. So a lot of like sort of fun, gooey things in the terminal happening all at the same time. Does that answer your question? Okay, so if I wanted to now get, when we've logged in, let's go ahead and switch into our login page, which is you, right? This is login, I think. So I want to, on mouse. Okay, so on mouse, I want to get the mouse position, and we only want to do this if we're currently clicked on it. Okay, so I need a query for our component. I can do that with elements, right? So what is it? Elements, query, at position, and then I want mouse dot position. There should only be one thing here, so just give me the first thing. Oh, wait. You don't return anything. Oh, you take in a function like that. Okay. And then what do I want to do? I want to like do the login thing. I think we took out I think I can print line, and I think we can see these. This will be much better once you can chain queries. Oh yeah, that will be nice. Okay. Oh, and to answer your question, Evelyn, excellent, great. So if I do a print line, clicked login button, and so that should only show up on our screen when we actually click the login button. Let's just do that as a quick test. We'll restart you. Go to login. I thought I made it so we're gonna see the print lines. It's alt screen that means that, right? Why shouldn't that compile? Oh, modprog, Solarized Light. My automated system is down right now, but I will change that for you. So, Solarized Light. You can blame modprog for this. Also, I'm taking your points. The closure takes element attributes. Oh, that's what the problem was. Okay, so login element attributes. Yeah, well, apparently it was. Are these errors or warnings? I literally can't tell. I can't tell if these are errors or warnings. It looks like it's just a warning because I'm not using it. Okay, but yeah, we're not using state either. Not using context. Oh yeah, and then just a bunch of unused here, which is fine. Let's see, that input isn't being used. Let's do that. 6 more to go. Does not need to be mutable and isn't being used. Okay. All right. No more errors, no more warnings. Okay. Now you can check if the element has an attribute before you print. So I guess like I'm a little bit confused about the attribute. Oh, there it goes. Login button clicked. So now that works. Excellent. Add an attribute to the border that is a button, maybe button true, and you can call if attributes contains buttons, you know that it's the right element. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never really understood what the attribute system, like how that worked. So this would be in login AML. So we do an attribute, and it could be anything, right? So button true, like login button true, or we can have button type login, something like that. And then in login, so we have attributes like this, and then we can check what they are, right? You said? So we can say attributes get button type. It's an option unknown. Do I have to tell it what type it is? So when can you use the, wait, I missed stuff. When can you use this as your login manager? Soon. It's going to be ready very soon. I'm sure it's going to be ready right away. You need to become a Patreon first. Like you need to become all of Patreon. And then I'm sure we'll have it ready for you. Okay, so button type unknown. I need to set what this is, right? Get type T. So can I set you to be a string? Oh, is it going to be a value? So value string? No. Get ref string? Oh, okay. So, oh, and there's get value. Oh, get a copy of a value. Get a reference to value. So you're thinking get ref. I guess like, okay, so you're upset though. Try from is not satisfied. I guess how do I get what this out so I can see like, hey, what is the button type? So we have attributes. I sort of like feel that this is wrong, right? Where it's like attributes dot, get the value out of attributes. This is always the first item. It's not what I want. Returns true if the attribute contains the key. Okay. So here we could just do contains, and then this is button type. And that should be, let's just do that. So we'll see this come up as true. False. It's not a button type false. Oh, okay. So I can't actually get the value of the attribute out now. I can only do like Booleans essentially of like just setting that it has something in there. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, this comes back to like the properties thing where we can do like properties passing in to the elements. We should do a new code relay soon. I was unable to make the last one, but maybe the next time I'll be able to. That'd be fun. Okay, so I can, but why is this false? If I click everywhere else, it's fine. Do I have to click on the border? Now Yeah, okay. So it's even the first time when I'm clicking on it directly. Okay, so you have to go and sleep. All right, so we'll have to figure out, it's probably getting a parent element instead, like the wrapping VStack. Oh, okay. Oh, I know what it's getting. It's getting this thing because I'm inside a component like that. So it can't be just first because that is in a position. Got it. Okay. So good things to know. We're probably going to have to create a component library pretty soon to actually do this type of stuff. But the general idea is here, and we can do some fun things with it. So I don't know. We'll figure out what we're gonna work on. That being said, while Togglebit needs to go and sleep, I need to go grab lunch because it's almost 1 o'clock. So I think I'm also going to call it for a day. So Togglebit, thank you so much for hanging out and helping out with this. Everybody else, also thank you for hanging out. This is the last stream of the week. So next week, I don't know exactly when the streams are going to have. I haven't looked at my schedule yet. I usually figure that out on the weekends, and then I just set all of the schedules and everything else, and create the calendar items. But we'll be continuing to work on the EyeAP project, which is a centralized authentication system using FusionAuth, and then front ends using Anathema here, and then also yew.rs. I might also switch this away to like just being working on a component library for this type of stuff because we need to figure this out. I don't know. I'll think of something. Anyways, with that, have a great rest of your day, everyone. And I will see you all next time. Bye.